Peace, everybody. This is Dr. Rich again. This is the short talk number 3. And today I want to share with you an idea. This is just food for thought. A way to stir your thinking about what you're doing in your work with young people around the globe. We, as Generation Hip Hop Global, are trying to push forward this mission of having work being done, going on in different countries, in different regions and locations all over the planet. The goal is to try to use the power of hip hop, the power of youth support, and the power of youth development to raise a generation of young people that can make a difference in their own circumstance, in their own situation, and make a difference in the world. This is part of the growing mission of Generation Hip Hop. And when I say growing mission, I mean the mission is emerging on a work level. It's emerging on a physical level. Even though the concepts are there, even though the ideas, the mission, the purpose, the values are there, you have to make them real. And to make them real, you have to put in the work. You have to build, and then let what you build make an impact. Then you tweak, then you refine, then you sharpen, then you change or modify what you're doing. So I want to focus on something that is important, and it's kind of a part 2 to the last video. Digging into this idea of your program and your purpose. We're going to come back to the issue of youth development and youth empowerment, but I want to really get you to be more excited and empowered in the work, about the work you're doing and in the work you're doing. So if you can follow me, right? You see I got my stuff here, right? Here's my stuff. My markers, right? My markers. So I'm hip hop. Hip hop is a part of my life, has been a part of my life from the beginning years of the 70s. And I was a young boy. I was a young man. I was a teenager as hip hop began to emerge and become a big part of New York. As hip hop culture began to become more firm, I became more and more a part of things, became a part of the growing organization called Zulu Nation at that time, became a part of the hip hop community, started circulating, and so on and so on and so forth. But I have been a part of hip hop internally, not just externally. And what I mean is, hip hop culture affected my life. It affected me deeply. And I didn't realize how deep until the years went on. So you see, I got my markers. Excuse me, I'm a little thirsty today. I've got my markers, and I've got my pad. My pad. Used to be a black book, right? Years ago. I've got my pad. And I'm doing some work around color exploration with graph style lettering. So this is an H2 hip hop, H2 hip hop. And like I said, I'm exploring color. This is Rick, my name. People used to call me Rick and used to call me Rick Song because of my life in the martial arts. But this is, again, color exploration. I'm exploring the different mixes of color with graph-styled lettering. Right? Exploring again. Funk. F-U-N-K. Funk. So I'm showing you this just to say, you know, the arts, the elements, the dynamics that we use in hip hop culture are a big part of our work. They're a big part of what we do in hip hop work. We do stuff. We don't just talk. We don't just talk about knowledge or concepts and so on, history and so on. That's a part of it. But we do stuff. And in doing stuff, we create things. In doing, we create. In doing, we create. So, again, this is hip hop stuff, right? M-I-N-D, mind. Again, color exploration with graph styled lettering. So, what I want you to think about, we're going to look at this chart back here. And I want you to come along with me, right, into this graph back here. But this here is a bubble style, right? It says Rickson, that's one of my names, Rickson. And it's bubble style. Again, color exploration. I'm testing and working with different color schemes, color design, color connection. So I call this graph arts. And what I mean is, it's arts that have been influenced and shaped by the tradition of graffiti work, the history and the artistic tradition of the element of graph work, graffiti art. So it's graph art. I often also call it what I do when I'm doing characters and lettering, graph-toons, because the cartoons are influenced by styles that develop in the graph community. So come with me to this chart right here. So when you look at developing your program, right, fine-tuning your program, right, there's the stuff we do, and then there's the stuff we know, right? There's the stuff we do, and then there's the stuff we know. There's the information, right? That's knowledge and so on. Then there's the stuff we do. And oftentimes, when we talk about the stuff we do in hip-hop culture, we often reflect on the elements, right? Now, hip-hop culture, the cultural movement, the totality of the culture is over 40 years in existence. That means that we have a lot of stuff that we can do in hip-hop culture. I have them over here, some of them, as elements that are in hip-hop culture now after 40 years of growth. DJing, right? DJing, live DJing, the technique, the hip-hop technique of DJing, evolving over the years into production and music production, right? That is the musical side of hip-hop. But it's not just music, it's stuff we do. It's stuff done in hip-hop culture. MCing / rap craft, right? I can also add in there hip-hop spoken word, right? Spoken word that has been shaped and influenced by hip-hop traditions and hip-hop MC craft and hip-hop rap craft. We could also say hip-hop inspired poetry, right? But this is the stuff we do. B-boy and B-girl craft in a traditional way, meaning how the original dance styles of hip-hop are still real today, still used today, still practiced today. But hip-hop dance has evolved and influenced other realities of dance. So now we have different schools or different styles, new school, new traditions of hip-hop dance that have evolved with the music, that have evolved through choreography, that have evolved through work in studios, that have evolved in work through music video work, right? In work in the music industry. The dance side, right, has created new styles, new flavors, new traditions that are now latched on top of the traditional stuff, right? So I want you to think about this. This is all the stuff we do. And as the stuff we do, this is the stuff we also do with youth. This is the stuff we do with youth. So when we're talking about hip hop programs, hip hop activities, and so on, it's not just the stuff and the information stuff, but it's the do stuff. It's the do stuff. Graph arts, right? Mural work, lettering, paperwork, book, right? Wall. You understand? Graph illustration, right? This is all part of graph arts as it has evolved over the years. Beatboxing, right? This is a craft. This is a craft, right? Emerging in hip hop, building in hip hop, growing in hip hop, beatboxing as a craft, right? Stuff we do in hip hop. Hip hop spoken word, right? As I mentioned up here with the rap craft, right? That's a big thing. There are some people that don't necessarily MC, but they're poets, and their delivery has been shaped and influenced by hip hop. Okay? Fashion, and we could say fashion design, fashion styling, right? That fashion styling and fashion design. It could be as simple as working with young people. We move fast here, trying to keep these vids short. Right? So it could be as simple as working with young people around understanding, right? Understanding styling. Okay, so we've got our figure, and then we start talking about styling, hip hop design, right? Graphic design. So it might be a shirt, right? It might be a shirt. Now we do this with pencil, right? Pen and ink, markers, sometimes paints, but it could be hip hop design, right? Fashion design, illustration. But all of these are the things we do. Then there's another level which is connected to the fifth element, which is knowledge giving, right? So the fifth element's movement into knowledge, knowledge of culture, knowledge of self, your own history, your own life, truthful knowledge, life knowledge, skill knowledge, right? Knowledge about how to make change in the world. All of these are branches in the fifth element, going and emerging over the first 10 years, 15 years from the time that Bambaataa said, knowledge is the fifth element, right? We have these branches, right? Knowledge of self, knowledge of culture and life, right? Deeper understanding, right? Deeper understanding of things, deeper understanding of things, truthful knowledge, factology, right? All of these things have emerged under this umbrella of knowledge, under the umbrella of knowledge. So all of this is stuff, and we can begin to build knowledge programming, right? Where we put together information that we teach young people, right? So all of this is stuff we can do in hip hop. Over here, your program, we can have then the values. And when we look at the values, and I'm going to move past this, and I want to say this, I wish that I could speak 100 different languages to be able to share this in 100 different ways, right? But unfortunately, I'm most fluid in English and have a little bit of other stuff. All right? I'm fluid in English and have a little bit of other stuff. All right? So I'm not going to try to fake the funk. So here's values. Values, right, take us to a higher level. These are principles and concepts that shape how we behave, that shape how we act. So let's just take one, right? The value of peace, right? Personal peace, right? But starting here, peaceful coexistence, being at peace and harmony with other people, non-violence, right? Being able to learn how to live that way, being able to learn how to move in that way. Then to a higher level, internal peace, harmony, right? Spirit, soul, and body, harmony of your person, right? And we can go to the next level, spiritual harmony, right? Harmony, peace with the Creator, peace with the we can keep on. But this idea of peace, starting with this nonviolent principle, starting with this peace with people, peace with others, and then peace with yourself, right? This is hip hop values, right? Unity, trying to understand what it means to work together with people, to be properly connected with people, right? Not in foolish or ignorant ways, but in positive and productive ways. These are our values. So I'm gonna move through this and then close it out. So these values and these elements, these are things we do. These are values that are the higher principles for our life. But then, you can begin to dig into hip-hop history. And I think this is why I think that is important. The history, its birth, right, its development, its evolution, its expansion, it not only gives you a sense of the roots of hip-hop culture, but it also gives you a sense of who the pioneers, creators, players, shapers are. Those people that we should respect because of their powerful contribution to hip-hop culture, because of their powerful influence in hip-hop culture, right? So we should be able to continue to learn hip-hop culture. There's so many aspects because every element branches out and has its own subculture, right? And then there's hip-hop as it went into the entertainment business, the music business, and what that looks like, right? The broadcasting business and what that looks like. All of that's a part of hip-hop. And in that, we have a legacy, stuff that's left for us to appreciate. We have 40 plus years now of music that we can appreciate and learn from, right? We have pioneers that have shaped the culture and influenced it and laid the foundation. And we have stuff from the first generation, the first 15, 20 years, and then stuff from the last 20 years that we can value and respect. So as you are fine-tuning your program, as you are fine-tuning what you do, just think about it from the point of view of there's stuff you do that's hip-hop, then there's your values and how those values might shape your work with young people, right? And then there's the history, the common history that we all share, that identify with hip-hop culture, that are a part of hip-hop culture. And that history is important because it puts everything we do in the proper light. It puts it in the proper light. And it's important that we respect those who have contributed, in other art forms, in other dance styles, right? There's a respect of the evolution of those things. And in hip-hop culture, we should do the same thing. We should respect those things as they evolve. So I'm going to stop. I'm here. I got my phone. I got my camera. I'm shooting, right? And I'm going to keep trying to give these little videos so that you can begin to think about things. All right? Peace, y'all.